All my life, I've been a global traveler, seeking cultures and traditions that are just as vibrant today as in times past. We're opening doors, stepping into worlds most never see, because that's where the best stories are, behind closed doors. We're sharing stories of local life and the working world, plus spending time with some of the most interesting people you'd ever want to meet. It's truly privileged access that always leaves me excited to explore more. Silk. This is where it all begins, with the mulberry tree. And Matthew is going to show us how the mulberry becomes a piece of silk.
Yes, let's go. These are the silkworms. Their life cycle is like 30 days, so I think now they're like 24 days old.
Can I touch one?
Of course, pick up one.
I've never really wanted to touch a worm, but these look very touchable.
Their body now is full of liquid, and the liquid will later become silk. When they're ready to spin the silk cocoon, they will put their forehead up, and then they won't eat anything. When the silkworms are ready, they will be taken here and they're put on the straw mountains.
Straw. These are rice straw, are they?
Yeah, they are rice straw. But of course, we need to make sure no two silkworms are too close to each other.
Because otherwise they
Otherwise,
fuse.
The filaments are going to be twisted.
Right.
It's not good. The next step is to sort the good cocoons from the bad ones.
And what makes a bad cocoon?
Well, you can see this is a twin cocoon. So
there are two silkworms inside.
Right, you're right. And then some of them get stains.
Yeah, they're a bit discolored.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So that's sorting the good from the bad.
Yes. Now the silk cocoons are put in the hot water, and the boiling water can dissolve the natural glue of the silk cocoons.
And what is she doing here?
Now she's using a brush to get the silk ends from the cocoon, and then those ends will be hooked to the machine.
So here it's spinning the silk thread.
Yes.
And you need 8 filaments for the silk thread?
For one thread.
For one thread. And this?
They're called pupas.
So these are the dead silkworms?
That's right. And we can eat them, actually.
But you fry them?
Oh, yes. We deep fry it, and then we put some salt, pepper. It's crunchy and very delicious.
So every part of the process of making silk is consumable?
That's right.
Great.
As you can see here, this is the final step of getting the cloth. The silk is dyed and woven by machine into cloth.
And that's the final piece of silk?
That's right. We can use it to make beautiful clothes.
Chinese silk is a beautiful fabric, and having a custom garment made is a wonderful memento of a trip to China. One of the easiest places to do just that is on your Viking ship as it sails the Yangtze. Viking river cruises, let us share with you the traditions and culture of magnificent China. Amid the vibrant landscapes of the tranquil Caribbean, one tradition is sure to catch your eye: Batik. Batik is an ancient art form from the Far East and Africa that creatively used natural dyes made from local berries and minerals. This intriguing technique is actually a relative newcomer to the Caribbean, introduced at Caribel Boutique on St. Kitts in 1976, when well-traveled Englishman Maurice Widows wished to share the spirit and character of life on the island.
All of our designs have some derivative from our landscape and our culture. It's basically our story on cotton.
The process of batik begins with an artist who paints on cloth with molten wax. Wax bonds easily with the fabric, forming an impenetrable barrier in the shape of the artist's intended design. This fabric is then immersed in a vat of dye until it's thoroughly infused with the desired color. A rinse sets the dye, then the fabric is dried in the Caribbean breezes. The wax is removed and the process begins anew. These steps must be repeated for each individual color. so complex designs can literally take weeks. Once all colours have been added to the fabric, it's rinsed in boiling water to remove any last traces of the wax. With that, this handmade, one-of-a-kind fabric is ready to be shaped into a wide range of garments.
This batik industry is more than an art form. It sustains life in our communities.
The writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said, "Caribbean reality resembles the wildest imagination." And the batik items you'll come across reflect that spirit, while providing a glimpse into the unique cultures and people of the sunny Caribbean. Istanbul is a cultural paradise. Among its many treasures are the beautiful, intricately made carpets and kilims. Learning about them is fun, a process that always begins with chai, Turkish sweet black tea, as I discovered with my friend Julia. First up were the traditional pile-woven carpets.
All made by hand. It's a nomadic tribal carpet coming from center part of Turkey.
The carpets of each region have distinct motifs and colours, and many date back to the earliest days of the Ottoman Empire. The wool is bound with a unique Giordes double knot, the same knot found in the oldest existing pile carpet. A second type of Turkish carpet is known as a kilim.
It's wool-on-wool material and with vegetable colors.
The kilims are created by interweaving the strands rather than tying knots as they do with pile carpets. While Turkish carpets appear delicate, they're actually extremely durable. So don't be afraid to walk on them, even the most expensive ones. So these are all original colors?
All original colors, and the natural colors is very important. Synthetic or chemical dyes. When you wash it, the color is going to run, and with time can fade it. Natural and vegetable colors are always strong enough, even 200 years later, is going to remain the same colors and same tones.
The most beautiful carpets I've seen are those made of silk.
This is a silk piece with very fine work.
Wow.
Embroidery we call sumak.
And that's woven.
It's a woven technique, silk on silk material.
So this is first woven and then embroidered,
embroidery
and
by
it's
hand.
all silk.
All silk and all made by hand,
And all natural colors.
all natural colors.
The silk carpets are often called flying carpets, possibly due to the fact that they're very light and easy to pack. You know what? I can put it into my handbag. Some of the most valuable Turkish carpets are the hand-selected antiques, which are sometimes created with a different type of wool.
This is over 80 years old, coming from center part of Turkey,
It's like velvet.
like velvet, because of the lamb's wool. When the animal's 6 months old, we take it first cut. It's softer than the normal sheep wool,
And shinier.
shinier, yes.
But what I found most intriguing are the dowry carpets. What makes it a dowry carpet?
Dowry carpet is the more special. The young girl is make it for to own use.
So every girl would make her own dowry in form of a carpet?
Before she get married,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Okay. And how do you find these dowry pieces?
We travel in winter time all over Turkey. We go to the villages, we
you
go
knock
to
on
the
the doors?
mountains, we knock to the doors, and this.
Determining the quality of a Turkish carpet is easy. There are just a few key elements to consider: the material, the handwork, the dyes, the origin of the carpet, and one of the most important, of course, is the number of knots which you can see on the underside of the carpet.
When it is more finer work, which means more smaller knots, more material and more handwork.
So this, for example, would have how many knots?
This one we call it 7 by 7, which means 49.
So 49 knots
Yes.
in 1 square centimeter.
Yes. Of course, the silk one you can find more finer because of the material.
And how fine does it go on silk carpet?
On the silk until 20 by 20, which means like 400
knots
in
in 1
1
centimeter.
Yes. this size by hand, it takes 1.5 or 2 years time.
I find Turkish carpets beautiful and their history fascinating. And carpet shopping, a great place to practice the ancient art of haggling. You'll insult the vendor if you don't. It's also a unique way to explore Turkish culture and traditions. I hope you too will go out and experience this country's many treasures. Norway's rugged coastal mountains are a seemingly endless maze of steep fjords and narrow valleys. Many hold fascinating stories, like the Bergstalen Valley, where wool and knitwear maker Dalla sprang to life in 1879.
A businessman called Jepsen. He was a textile engineer and he had studied all the new machines. He came with machines with a boat from the fjords. They transported it up and they started the factory here.
Drawn by one of Norway's most abundant resources, hydropower, plus easy access to wool, Dalla thrived. The village grew quickly and entire families began honing their skills, creating a vast pool of knowledge that never left.
This is nice with this company. Generations have worked here. People here, they really know what they're doing. They inherited a lot of competence that you cannot find anywhere. It's just they know how to do it nice.
It's the tiny twist. It's the little things that makes us different. We have to be on top on the quality side of things to be able to call ourselves Dalla with pride. That's the core of what Dalla has always been about.
It's like making the nicest wine in France. You know, this is something you cannot always understand because it's so inherited how you do it right.
Dalla was quite successful from the beginning, but really took off in 1956 when the company began outfitting the national Norwegian ski team.
This is what have made us very well known abroad, because they always came with a new Dalla Norway sweater for every World Championship, every Olympic. And in the end, the International Olympic Committee wanted us to make sweaters for them. So we have had like official sweaters for the Olympics and World Championships since 1956.
While the Norwegian ski team introduced Dalla to the world, it's the unwavering commitment to innovative, enduring wool and knitwear that set Dalla apart.
Everyone that knows Dalla Norway, they know the products are very long-lasting. We only use 100% wool, and we find the finest qualities of wool. We use Norwegian wool that is very, very long-lasting, or we use a more softer merino or also merino cashmere. It's really beautiful quality.
The designs often draw inspiration from Norway's distant past. Times when every pattern was a reflection of nature or a symbol of great significance.
You have a lot of stories around the different designs. Knitwears, for example, if you see some of the crosses, it's like protection from the evil that they put in to their fishermen or their farmers' garments to protect them. So it's a long, long tradition.
The Dalla commitment to Norwegian culture and tradition was critical when Viking decided to create a sweater for men and a comfy cardigan for women.
For Viking, we wanted to do something very special, something very Nordic, built upon the Nordic traditions. It's great to be able to tell a story through the garments. That's why we went all the way to the Viking Museum in Oslo and looked down into what they found on board of the Viking ships. The different textiles that were found on the Oseberg ship, they derive from around 800. I looked a lot into the different patterns that they used here and tried to take some of them out and then combine them in a different way.
Beyond these fresh interpretations of traditional patterns, elements from history and legend were also infused into the Viking garments.
We used this old Viking brooch as an inspiration for the zipper puller and also for the buttons. And for the masculine version, we used the Thor's hammer as a zipper puller. The Thor's hammer is from the Norse mythology. He used his hammer to make the thunder and lightning.
The true beauty of Dalla knitwear lies not only in their appearance, but in their usefulness.
Dalla Norway is known to make products for the active lifestyle, and we are reflecting the Norwegian lifestyle. Norwegian lifestyle is actually very active. We like to go hiking, we go skiing, we are a lot out in the nature, and the wool is perfect for that. But you can also look good in it. It's something you can use with jeans, and you can use it with a beautiful skirt, and you can be like a queen, and then you can go out with jeans with the holes in. It's very, versatile.
After more than a century, Dalla's beautiful wool and knitwear is still created by some of the same multi-generational families in the little hydro-powered factory deep in the Norwegian mountains.
It's something you can be proud of, something you like to wear because it's good work behind, and it's also very ethical, and it's environmentally friendly. Everything is really right. It's the best knitwear in the world.
Join us again here on Viking.TV as we open more doors around the world on our quest to explore the planet's most fascinating cultures and delightful traditions.